January 4th, and this is your first coffee break of 2016 on the HAN Network. I'm Kate Czaplinski, bringing you the latest news in southwestern Connecticut and beyond. Rob Adams will join us for sports and some weather updates, and Donald Ang takes a look back on this day in history. But first, on to some stories we're following today. A missing Darien woman and former Tokenique physical education teacher was found dead in her car on Saturday. 63-year-old Suzanne Stisser, who retired from Tokenique School in June 2014, was found at about 4 in the afternoon Saturday in a remote location in Darien. Police said the investigation has revealed that there were no signs of foul play. The incident remains under investigation, but no additional details are being released at this time, police said. The police department also extended its condolences to the Stisser family and thanked law enforcement agencies for their assistance. According to family members, 63-year-old Suzanne Stisser was last seen at her residence on Friday, January 1st. She left her Briar Brae Road residence at about 11 in the morning in her dark gray 2010 Subaru Forester. The Darien Police Department was investigating the incident and working with several other law enforcement agencies in the attempt to locate her before she was found dead. You can get updates on that story at DarienTimes.com. And in Bridgeport, just days after a fire displaced more than 100 people, the Connecticut Post reports that a 3-year-old toddler died early Sunday morning in a fire on Frenchtown Road. 3-year-old Sincere Petway died in a fire, and her mother, Shanice Petway, who's 26 years old, was taken to Bridgeport Hospital suffering from burns. Also hospitalized were 3 other children, 1-year-old Alea Brandon, 2-year-old Egypt Medina, and 7-year-old Terrell Bell. Alea Brandon's mother, Shakira Booker, 20 years old, was also treated for burns and smoke inhalation. Bridgeport Assistant Fire Chief Richard Thode said when firefighters arrived to the condo unit at Green Tree Condominiums, it was engulfed in black smoke, especially on the second floor. The fire began in a condo unit at 715 Frenchtown Road at about 3:30 in the morning. Thode said firefighters located the girl within minutes of arriving at the scene and began CPR. The girl was pronounced dead at the hospital. The fire may have begun in the kitchen and spread to the second floor, according to Bridgeport Fire Chief Brian Rooney, but the investigation is ongoing. A Fairfield prep freshman was killed in a crash in Virginia on December 29th. 14-year-old Joseph Kulega was killed when his family's car left the James Madison Highway, struck a tree, and flipped shortly before 1 in the afternoon on December 29th. Mark Kulega of Fairfield was charged with reckless driving, according to reports from Virginia. All of those in the vehicle were wearing seatbelts. Police said they believe fatigue was a factor in the crash. Mark Kulega and 3 other passengers in the vehicle were taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. According to a letter posted on the Fairfield Prep website by the Reverend Thomas Szyminski, president of the school, Joey Kulega rode with the prep crew. And in more tragic news for the nearby community, 2 local colleges are in mourning after a crash over the holidays in Florida took the lives of 2 educators who were married to each other. 52-year-old Jose Labrador and his wife, 40-year-old Gisela Gil Igwe, were both killed in a 5-car crash in Miami, Florida on Wednesday, December 30th. Killed in the same car were Miguel Gil of Cooper City, Florida, and 71-year-old Gisela Margarita Igwe of Venezuela. The Florida Highway Patrol told media in Miami that 23-year-old Alexandra Nelani was driving south in the northbound lanes of I-95 when she sideswiped one car, then slammed head-on into the sedan carrying the local residents just after 12:30 in the morning last Wednesday. The crash involved 5 vehicles. Labrador was acting director of education technology at Housatonic Community College, and Gil Igwe was a professor of mass media at Fairfield University. And in Darien, the first day back to school after the holidays will not be Monday for students of Oxridge School due to a water main break, according to School Superintendent Dan Brenner. The Darien Times reported early this morning that a water main break at Half Mile and Mansfield Avenue has left the school with no water. Brenner told the Darien Times only Oxridge School will be closed today. The rest of the district will be open as scheduled. Aquarian confirmed a 12-inch water main break on Mansfield Avenue Monday morning that is impacting 100 to 200 customers, including Oxridge School. Peter Fazekas of Aquarian estimated a restoration time of later this morning. The streets affected during that time include Cloudy Lane, Crooked Mile Road, Half Mile Road, Mansfield Avenue, Shagbank Road, Stephen Mather Road, Tower Drive, Tower Lane, Valley Forge Road, Renfield Lane, and you could get more information at DarienTimes.com. And in Ridgefield over the weekend, police have in custody the driver of a car that gave chase to police and caused a series of crashes along Main Street Sunday afternoon. According to an eyewitness and a person whose friend was in one of the crashes, police gave chase to a car that may have been stolen, possibly starting somewhere near Cops Hill Plaza. The driver continued at a high rate of speed southbound along Danbury Road and then Main Street, with eyewitnesses giving speeds ranging from 60 to 100 miles an hour. The car struck a black VW SUV around the intersection of Main Street and Route 116, continued through the center of town, where it struck at least one other vehicle turning onto Main Street, and after racing through town, struck two other cars, one more seriously, near the intersection of King Lane and Main Street. That crash caused extensive damage to both the car the police were pursuing, the blue SUV, and a black Mercedes SUV. The driver of the car being pursued later abandoned the vehicle due to damage and took off on foot. Police gave chase and were able to take him into custody a short while later. The driver of a car behind the two vehicles that were hit near King Lane described the driver as a male in his 20s. No other information was immediately available, including whether there were any injuries to occupants of the vehicles that were struck, but you can get updates on that story at theridgefieldpress.com. But we're going to switch gears now and throw it over to Rob Adams for a look at today's weather. Rob?
All right, Kate. Good morning, everyone. A partly sunny day as we begin our Monday and as we begin the first broadcast of 2016. Steady temperatures around 28, wind chill values between 15 and 20 today, with a north wind from 15 to 17 miles per hour, gusts as high as 29. Mostly clear tonight, low 11. Wind chill values between 0 and 10, bundle up, north wind 13 to 16, gusts as high as 28. To Tuesday, sunny, high 28, wind chill values between 0 and 10, north wind 8 to 11, clear and 20 for Tuesday night, sunny and 41 for Wednesday, clear and 28 for Wednesday night, sunny and 42 for Thursday, partly sunny and 43 for Friday. So later in the week, okay, not so bad, maybe even above normal. But we're going to be pretty cold for these first couple of days. Some Arctic blasts hitting us. Darien has 28, Ridgefield is 25, and it's 25 degrees here in Shelton, Kate.
All right, thanks, Rob. Well, we're going to step out for a quick break. When we come back, Donald Dang is going to take a look back. Rob Adams is going to give us the latest on local sports, and we have a lot more news coming up after this.
It's time to come back to hometown banking, where people are taken into account, not just balances. Where community comes first. A place where there's more than one kind of interest. Where automation will never replace consideration. Where they not only know your name, they know your dog's name too. It's time to expect more. It's time to bank well. Bank smart. Bank local. Bank well.
In Pound Ridge since 1993, the Wine Connection is one of America's best wine shops. Visit our beautiful store for the greatest in wine and knowledgeable service. With wonderful values from around the world to collectibles for your cellar, we are your one-stop source. Visit our online shop at wineconn.com and make sure to sign up for email updates. With great offers, new arrivals, and special events, don't miss all the action at the Wine Connection, including tastings every weekend. The Wine Connection, located at 32 Westchester Avenue, Pound Ridge, New York.
Find over 1,000 special stories at Hospital for Special Surgery. Go to hss.edu/backinthegame.
I was jogging 5 months after my cartilage tear.
Skiing a year after hip surgery.
And playing grandma 4 weeks after hip replacement.
One special hospital, 1,000 special stories. See Connecticut patients at hss.edu/CT.
I'm John Kovach. I'm a newspaper editor. I'm a high school football coach. I'm a television presenter. And I want you to love fishing as much as I do. Tune in to Yankee Fisherman, Thursdays at 1 on the HAN network. It's like going to the tackle shop without leaving your office.
You are watching the HAN network, and you're not alone. Nearly 500,000 viewers enjoyed our broadcasts in the first 5 months. Advertise on the network that reaches Fairfield County, Connecticut's most engaged audience. Contact Jessica Murrin, Advertising Director, at 203-273-7312 or email jessica@han.network.
And we're back on this Monday edition of your Coffee Break on the HAN Network. I'm Kate Czaplinski. It's January 4th, and it's time to take a look back on this day in history with Donald Eng.
Well, Kate, a werewolf set loose in Minnesota, sort of, no, not really. But first, actually, before we get to that, we'll go to 1847. Samuel Colt sells his first revolver to the U.S. government. The 1847 Colt Walker was a collaboration between Colt and Texas Ranger Captain Samuel Hilton Walker, who wanted a handgun that was powerful at close range. Walker actually carried 2 of those into the Mexican-American War, but they didn't do him much good. He was killed at the Battle of Huamantla. Looking at the size of those Colts, I can't imagine he moved very fast while wearing 2 of them. Only 1,100 actually were ever made, making them extremely rare. A Mexican War vintage Walker Colt has sold for over $900,000. To 1853 we go. Solomon Northup regains his freedom. Northup was a freeborn African American from New York, the son of a freed slave and a free black woman. A farmer and professional violinist, Northup was a landowner in Hebron, New York. In 1841, he took a job as a traveling musician and went to Washington, D.C., where he was drugged, kidnapped, and sold into slavery. He was shipped to New Orleans, purchased by a planter, and held as a slave for 12 years in the Red River region of Louisiana. He remained in slavery till he met a Canadian working on the plantation who helped get word to New York, where state law provided aid to free New York citizens who had been kidnapped and sold. Family and friends enlisted the help of Governor Washington Hunt, and Northup regained his freedom on this day, 1853. His memoirs, by the way, have been made into the movie 12 Years a Slave. The man who kidnapped him, James Birch, was arrested but acquitted because the District of Columbia prohibited black men from testifying against whites. Birch was never punished for the kidnapping. And finally, we go to 1999, where there was this.
You ready, Your Honor?
I'm ready.
I saw a werewolf with a Chinese menu in his hand.
Walking through the streets of Soho in the rain. He was looking for a place called E-Ho Foods.
That's right.
Gonna get a big dish of beef chow mein.
Yeah.
That was James George Janos, better known as Jesse Ventura. That video, by the way, from his inaugural ball, which was a few days after today, but on this day, Jesse Ventura sworn in as Minnesota's 38th governor. I'm sorry, the video was just too good not to use. Ventura had first entered politics as the mayor of Brooklyn Park, Minnesota from 91 to 95. He was the Reform Party candidate in the Minnesota gubernatorial election, running a low-budget campaign centered on grassroots events and a quirky ad campaign urging citizens not to vote for politics as usual. Both major party candidates, by the way, lobbied for him to be included in debates and other campaign coverage because both thought he would hurt the other more. He ended up defeating both of them. On this day, sworn in as governor of Massachusetts, Jesse the Body Ventura, 1999. That is, you look back in history, and I am Donald Eng.
All right, thanks so much, Don. Well, getting back to a little more news today. Police arrested a Milford man last week for allegedly asking a teenager to get into his car. Milford police said the incident took place near the intersection of Meadowside Road and DeMayo Drive, December 27th at around 1 in the afternoon. 68-year-old Thomas Stanton of DeMayo Drive is accused of asking the young man to get into his vehicle as the juvenile was riding a bicycle. The juvenile fled the scene and went to a friend's house and called 911. An investigation led to the arrest of Stanton, who was found a short while later and identified by the victim. Stanton was charged with breach of peace and risk of injury to a minor. His bond was set at $5,000, and he's scheduled to appear in court January 26th. We're going to switch gears now and throw it back over to Rob Adams for the latest in local sports. Rob, I know we have a busy week of games coming up.
We do. A lot of things to get to, Kate, and a lot of it will be right here on the HAN network. And just to follow off what Kate was saying, we'll get to boys ice hockey. That's today. More on Wednesday, and a good basketball game, a single basketball game on Thursday, and a good basketball doubleheader as well on Saturday. All of them good, but doubleheader is is a little more to it than just showing up and calling a game. All right, let's dive into the sports. New Canaan girls ice hockey team continue to roll. They remain perfect. A 7-0 shutout of the Wilton Norwalk co-op team. That was last week. Senior co-captain Catherine Granito and sophomore Gianna Bruno each notched a pair of goals in the win, which boosted the Rams' record to 5-0 overall, 3-0 in the FCIAC. New Canaan and Darien now are the lone unbeaten teams in the conference. Darien 5-1 overall, with the Ridgefield Tigers right there in third place. So the Rams will face the Tigers 3:30 Wednesday at the Winter Garden in Ridgefield. The Trumbull St. Joseph girls hockey team defeated Wilton High 4-0. Gina Moriello posted the shutout. Caroline Prezioso and Lexi Brown each scored 2 goals. Mackenzie Meany had 2 assists. Amelia Walker, Maureen McLean, and Bailey Brooks had 1 assist each. Also, Ridgefield over Stanford West Hill Staples 4-2, and Greenwich knocked off Fairfield 4-1. To boys ice hockey now, Will Gilbert and Kyle Perchinsky each scored early in the third period to secure St. Joseph's 3-0 boys hockey win over Notre Dame Fairfield at the Bennett Rink in West Haven on Saturday. Nick DiSabella scored off an assist from Tom Flynn at the 11:34 mark of the second period to snap the scoreless deadlock with the Lancers, who dropped to 2-0, and they had 40 shots. Evan Bacino assisted on the third period goal as the Cadets improved to 2-1 on the year. Ryan Wilson posted the shutout. Will Scoville had 27 saves in net for Notre Dame. Amity beat Wilton 5-3. It was Greenwich over New Canaan 3-1, so the Rams continue to struggle. Trinity Catholic took care of Sheehan 5-3. West Haven 5, Ridgefield nothing, and a little bit of a surprise. Norwalk McMahon knocked off the Eastern Connecticut Eagles 4-1, and West Hill Stanford beat Massac 8-2. Now to wrestling, and Trumbull High captains Brian Keys, Dante Monterano, Joe Ryan, and Matt Alleggi proudly display the Trumbull Duels trophy captured by the Eagles on Saturday. Trumbull defeated Glastonbury, Pomperog, and Foreign before defeating Newtown 48-27 in the final match of the day. Trumbull defeated Foreign 35-32. They shut out Glastonbury. The Trumbull High wrestling team will hold alumni night before its match with Wilton High on Wednesday. That would be this Wednesday, January 6th. Alumni registration scheduled for 6, introduction at 6:30. And by the way, the varsity wrestling match begins at 7. Also, Stratford topped Darien 34-27, and it was Montville over Stamford 53-23. With a 7-0 quarterfinal thrashing of the Czech Republic, the United States booked its place in the Final Four at the International Ice Hockey Federation World Junior Championship on Saturday at Helsinki, Finland. Why are you bringing this up, Rob? Well, the U.S. team includes Ridgefield native Chad Chris, and will now meet Russia in the semifinals on Monday, that's today, at 1. The winner of that contest plays either Sweden or Finland in the gold medal game on Tuesday. So best of luck to Chad Chris and the United States team at the IIHF World Junior Championships. To the schedule, boys basketball, it's New Fairfield at Darien. That's tonight at 7. Girls ice hockey, Laurelton Hall is at Fairfield Ludlow at 4:40. Stanford takes on Amity at 8. Boys ice hockey, Milford Co-op hosting Trinity Catholic. And last but not least, Notre Dame of West Haven comes down to Darien to take on the Blue Wave at 6. We'll be on the air right around 5:55. Looks like John Kovac will saddle up alongside me with Frank Granito down ice side, down at the Darien Ice Rink later today. Darien looking so good right now. Can Notre Dame West Haven give them a little bit of drama? We will find out. We'll find out more on Nutmeg Sports, in fact, when Donald Eng joins me at 2. But for now, that's it with sports. I'm Rob Adams. Kate, back to you.
All right. Thanks so much, Rob. Well, getting back to some of today's news. In New Canaan, Michael Nowacki's effort to force the town to have a referendum on the approved Sac School renovation and expansion project was apparently unsuccessful. Nowacki responded to the New Canaan Advertiser's January 4th inquiry about whether or not he submitted the required signatures for the referendum by saying that he abandoned that effort a couple of weeks ago. Nowacki said he's instead going to pursue his federal lawsuit against the town. Nowacki had a deadline of January 2nd to submit to the town clerk 625 names of certified New Canaan registered voters on a petition to have a referendum to repeal the $18.6 million SACS project that was unanimously approved by the Board of Education, Board of Finance, and Town Council. Without those signatures, a referendum will not take place. Nowacki has said for months that he would be bringing a new federal lawsuit against various Town of New Canaan and Board of Education officials for a variety of reasons. He said on January 4th that he plans to have the possible suit delivered by January 6th. His additional effort now to collect signatures of 1% of registered voters, which would equal about 130 people, refers to Nowacki's desire to force a public meeting where the Board of Education would answer questions produced by Nowacki. And in Lewisboro, New York, the planning board heard a proposed plan for a 5,000-foot addition to the now shuttered restaurant Le Chateau. Eloquent Banquets, the company that would be purchasing the property, also revealed its plan to turn the vacant restaurant into a wedding hall and catering service. As part of the proposal made by several representatives of Elegant Banquets, the proposed addition would be a minor change. They intended to use the existing structure, and the addition would be designed to match the original building. The focus of the proposal is to restore the existing features of Le Chateau property and add to the building for additional space. Simon Curtis, a representative from Elegant Banquets, said that if the addition was approved and the property became a wedding hall, the property would be used only from Friday through Sunday, which would leave the facility empty on other days of the week. But you can get more information on that story at lewisboroledger.com. We're going to step out for a quick break, come back, and recap some of the top stories we're following today on your coffee break after this.
Had a sports injury that needs immediate care? Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care gives you direct access to an orthopedic specialist quickly. Their highly trained orthopedic professionals expertly treat you without an appointment. Skiing, snowboard, or sports accident, sprain or fracture, Coastal Ortho Express can help. Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care open Monday through Saturday in the iPark building at 761 Main Avenue in Norwalk. Call 203-845-2070 or coastalorthoexpress.com. Find them on Facebook at Coastal Ortho CT.
Discover the Wilburton Inn in Manchester, Vermont, a 30-acre historic estate featuring a turn-of-the-century mansion with elegant inn guest rooms and 7 large private vacation homes, perfect for ski vacations and holiday celebrations. Special offer on select rooms and houses. Stay 2 nights, get the 3rd night free through Christmas Day. CNN has called the Wilburton one of the top 8 mansion hotels in America. Call 802-362-2500 or visit wilburtoninn.com for more information.
Darien Sport Shop is a unique store because it's a family store. A busy mom can come in with kids in tow and find everything she needs for them, and even find a dress for herself for Saturday night. And if she's in a rush, she can simply go home and order it from us that night. We'll deliver it the next day. The Darien Sport Shop. We're pretty on the outside and amazing on the inside. Conveniently located with free and easy parking at 1127 Post Road, Darien, Connecticut. Or shop us online at dariensport.com.
Walter Stewart's Market in New Canaan is your local destination for the best of the holidays. Shop Stewart's for the freshest produce, certified prime rib roasts, magnolia wreaths, fresh baked pies, gingerbread houses, Christmas candies, and the season's best wine and craft brews right next door at Stewart's Spirits. Shop Walter Stewart's, 229 Elm Street in New Canaan, or shop online at stewartsmarket.com.
Hi, I'm Rob Adams with my good friend Donald Eng, and we're the home team for Nutmeg Sports, Monday through Wednesday at 2 o'clock right here on the HAN Network. We are the place for all things Connecticut sports, so come hang out with us on Nutmeg Sports. Don? They don't call him the best color man in the game for nothing. Nutmeg Sports, 2 o'clock Monday through Wednesday right here on the HAN Network.
And we're back on this Monday, January 4th edition of your coffee break on the HAN Network. I'm Kate Czaplinski, and we're recapping some of the top stories we're following today, including that a missing Darien woman and former Tokenique physical education teacher was found dead in her car on Saturday. 63-year-old Suzanne Stisser, who retired from Tokenique School in June 2014, was found at about 4 in the afternoon Saturday in what police recalled a remote location in Darien. Police said investigation has revealed that there were no signs of foul play. The incident remains under investigation, but no additional details are being released at this time. The Darien Police Department also extended its condolences to the Stisser family and thanked law enforcement agencies that helped in the search. According to family members, Stisser was last seen at her residence on Friday. She left her Briar Bray Road residence at about 11 in the morning, and police and local law enforcement agencies were involved in the search. You can get updates on that story at DarienTimes.com. And in Bridgeport, just days after a fire displaced more than 100 people, the Connecticut Post reports that a 3-year-old toddler died early Sunday morning in a fire on Frenchtown Road. 3-year-old Sincere Petway died in the fire, and her mother, 26-year-old Shanice Petway, was taken to Bridgeport Hospital suffering from burns. Another 3 children who were in the condo were also hospitalized and being treated for burns and smoke inhalation. Bridgeport Assistant Fire Chief Richard Thode said when firefighters arrived at the condo unit at Green Tree Condominiums, the condo unit was engulfed in black smoke, especially on the second floor. The fire began in a condo unit at 715 Frenchtown Road at about 3:30 in the morning. Thode said firefighters located the girl within minutes of arriving at the scene and began CPR. She was pronounced dead at the hospital. The fire may have begun in the kitchen and spread to the second floor, according to Bridgeport Fire, but the investigation is ongoing. And a Fairfield prep freshman was killed in a crash in Virginia on December 29th. 14-year-old Joseph Kulaga was killed when his family's car left the James Madison Highway, struck a tree, and flipped shortly before 1 in the afternoon. Mark Kulaga of Fairfield was charged with reckless driving, according to reports from Virginia. All of those in the vehicle were wearing their seatbelts. Police said they believe fatigue was a factor in the crash. Mark Kulaga and the 3 other passengers in the vehicle were taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. According to a letter posted on the Fairfield Prep website by the Reverend Thomas Szyminski, who's president of the school, Joey Kulaga rode with the prep crew, and that community is now mourning his loss. And in more tragic news for the nearby community, 2 local colleges are in mourning after a crash over the holidays in Florida took the lives of 2 educators who were married to each other. 52-year-old Jose Labrador and his wife, 40-year-old Gisela Gil Egui, were both killed in a 5-car crash in Miami, Florida on Wednesday, December 30th. The Florida Highway Patrol told media in Miami that 23-year-old Alexandra Nalani Leffler was driving south in the northbound lanes of I-95 when she sideswiped one car, then slammed head-on into the sedan carrying the local residents just after 12:30 in the morning. Labrador was acting director of education technology at Housatonic Community College, and Gil Egui was a professor of mass media at Fairfield University. And this just in from the Darien Times. In Darien, Aquarian rep Peter Fazekas has confirmed that a water main break that happened earlier this morning, repairs are complete on that, and the company is in the process of filling the main so customers will begin to get their water back. The water main break closed Oxridge School this morning. That should be back in session tomorrow, according to School Superintendent Dan Brenner. But for updates on that story, DarienTimes.com. Going to throw it back over to Rob Adams for one last look at today's weather. Rob?
All right, Kate, thanks very much. We got a partly sunny day, kind of nice right now, at least sun-wise. Steady temperatures around 28, though, and the wind chill values down to 15 to 20. North wind could gust as high as 29. It'll be otherwise from 15 to 17. Mostly clear tonight, low 11 with wind chill values between 0 and 10, and a wind from the north from 13 to 16 miles per hour, gusts as high as 28. Sunny and 28 for tomorrow. Wind chill again between 0 and 10. North wind 8 to 11. Clear, low 20 tomorrow night. To Wednesday, sunny and 41. Wednesday night, clear, low around 28. Sunny and 42 for Thursday. Partly sunny, 43 for Friday. Looking into the weekend, Chance of rain as we hit Friday night into Saturday night and Sunday, so not that great. Temperatures high 30s, low 40s. But right now in the region, we've hit about as high as we're going to get. Darien stays at 28, Ridgefield up to 26, and here in Shelton, 26 chilly degrees, Kate.
All right, thanks so much, Rob. Well, that's going to do it for this Monday edition of your Coffee Break. Of course, as Rob mentioned, Nutmeg Sports coming up at 2. They're going to name our athletes of the week and for last week and our nominees for this week. And of course, boys ice hockey today at 6. I'll be back tomorrow at 11. Have a great Monday, everyone.